Heta, hola, and how's it to all our viewers? My name is Charlie Walters, and welcome to the Witpoortjie Performing Arts Show. This is the April 2020 edition, and this month's show will be broadcast on YouTube and shared on our Facebook page and WhatsApp group. This will mark the first occasion that the show is premiered online. As a West Rand-based arts and cultural group, we normally host the event at the Witpoortjie Community Library. This month's edition was initially themed around the devastating global pandemic COVID-19. However, you'll find various themes coming through, from cute nursery rhymes to insightful poetry on freedom and time. A special mention goes to Witpoortjie and Keegan Gregg for their tireless efforts behind the scenes. Keegan, being our resident IT specialist, has given much of his time to help produce the show. And Marlene, affectionately known as the Mother of the West, is one of the founders of the arts group and also runs the Witpoortjie Community Library. Whether you're looking for a book, an insightful chat, or even relationship advice, she's the go-to person. Now, without further ado, we'd like to introduce this month's icebreaker, which is Words by Marlene.
Hello and welcome to our special edition #COVID-19, a remote performing arts session, April 2020. Our lives each had a different track. We each had a different journey. We each reached for a different star. We trampled on one another to get where we want to be, but that was our lives. If someone told us 6 months ago that a virus will develop somewhere in the world and hit the world so hard that the whole world will go into lockdown, schools, jobs, everything. No buying clothes, no buying makeup, no buying alcohol or cigarettes. We would have laughed, shook our heads, and thought this person must be out of his mind. And literally overnight, this has happened. It changed the world. It changed our journeys, our missions, our expectations. It changed some people's hopes and dreams. We stand in long queues, eyes cast down, wearing masks and gloves just to buy food. We try not to look when we see someone we know, in fear that they will come near us or maybe hug us. What we do, we sanitize, we wash our hands, we check for any signs of the virus, and we repeat all the time. And then we relax a bit and take it day by day, just to be slapped hard in the face when we least expect it by the absolute surrealism of it all. People lose their jobs, people lose loved ones, people go hungry, people get depressed. So many thoughts go through our minds. Our whole lives changed in a blink of an eye, and we wonder, will things ever get back to the normal that we knew? We wonder, was it a virus that developed and we must try not to be infected and not to infect others? Simple as that. Or was it a man-made virus with a bigger picture that only suits a selected few? Then there's the third option, and I tend to go for that one. Is Mother Earth maybe not just doing spring cleaning herself from all the poison and pollution dumped on her by careless humans? Is she, through this, maybe teaching us all compassion again? More people reach out to each other than ever before. Is she using this to unite her people again and to teach them to care again about the smaller things in life? I don't know. I do not have the answers, only the questions. But I do believe we will walk out of this a much stronger and caring nation than we were. So look after yourselves, care for one another, and be safe. And thank you for joining our online session. That's a first.
That was quite interesting from Marlene Witpoortjie. Indeed, the entire world has been adversely affected by the coronavirus, and perhaps you're onto something about Mother Nature doing a little bit of spring cleaning. In fact, there have been reports recently indicating significant decreases in water and air pollution all across the globe. Now, our next performer, Duduzi, will share his intriguing and somewhat paradoxical poem, Freedom Encaged. Now, the irony has not been lost on South Africans who shared National Freedom Day on a level 5 national lockdown on the 27th of April. Let's hear what Duduzi has to say.
Greetings all. My name is Mduduzi and I'm a poet. So I decided to write one poem about Freedom Day since we're moving closer to Freedom Day. And knowing that on Freedom Day we're still going to be under lockdown, I decided to title my poem Freedom Encaged, So this poem is just very brief. It's just going to highlight a few things that people are going through during this pandemic or this lockdown. One which is the disease itself. There's people that are battling the disease itself. Some people are battling anxieties and depression due to this lockdown or pandemic, and while other people are battling their own fears due to the panic that is around the world. So this is just going to highlight a few things that that we are going through. It's very brief though, so hope you'll enjoy it. It's titled Freedom Encaged. Freedom encaged, an oxymoron in play. For how can one be in freedom yet still feel like a slave? Confined by just brick walls, yet feeling like we're bound in cages of steel, and yet still we celebrate freedom encaged. Restricted in mobility, feet clamped down with cemented ankle bracelets, feeling like we're slowly being dragged down into a sinking sand of depression. Stagnation, slowly creeping in, slowly finding residence within our feet. Feels like the walls are just caving in. Seems like it's more than just the walls we're battling. At stake is our mental sanity, where we are forced to constantly recollect our thoughts from wandering into territories of fear, and yet still we celebrate freedom encaged, feeling bound with invisible chains while stuck in a roller coaster of emotions, trying to stay pessimistic, but when being realistic we feel more bound emotionally than physically, with the media breathing panic into our minds and hearts and constantly reminding us that we're better off in cages. It's even harder for us claustrophobics, with our fear of confinement, feeling like prisoners wrongfully arrested, attached to an ankle monitor to restrict our movements. Mental health is at stake. Our peace feels compromised, stuck in a place of uncertainty, but bear the yoke of encaged freedom for now. For one day, we will stand up victorious.
We will stand up victorious indeed. Thank you, Duduzi, for your wonderful poem and highlighting the importance of mental health during this difficult period. Our next performer is a top musician and lyricist. He has music running in his veins, through his amp and straight into our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome David Costello.
Well, the man at mine says I won't get far. He don't like the music I play, but they don't care what they say. I'll be rocking tonight. Yeah, I'll be rocking tonight. I'll be rocking tonight.
Wow, what beautiful blues rock that was. Thank you so much, David Costella, for your wonderful music. And speaking of the blues, our next performer sings about the trials and tribulations surrounding love. Ulaki uzosiculela ngothando, noma uthando ukuzwisa ubuhlungu, noma uthando ukuzwisa ukuphoxa, kodwa sonke sifisela ukuthola uthando. Masizokuthi uLucky uthini.
Kuhlwile kumnyama, nhliziyo yami yaluxola, amehlo wami yalukhipha inyembezi, ngiphoqwe ngothando. Bonke labantu bathembele kuwe, ubathembisile konke kuzolunga. Zungangiyeki nami ngibambe ngesandla, ngifuna lo thando. Wethando ngawukhonana, wethando ungihlukumezile ungishintshile ingqondo. Thando, 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 ngabe ngiyobuye ngikuthembe na. Thando, 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 ngabe ngiyobuye ngikuthembe na. Wethando ngawukhonana, wethando ungihlukumezile ungishintshile ingqondo. Thando, 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 ngabe ngiyobuye ngikuthembe na.
Halala, siyabonga Lucky, uculo lakho lihle kakhulu. Mhlawumbe uzokhona ukulithemba futhi uthando, kodwa sizobona phambili. And speaking of love, our next poem expresses the hurt caused by love. Mandy shares a heartfelt poem called A Time. Take it away.
This is a poem called A Time, and it's for anyone out there who ever really loved someone and got hurt in the process through it. There was a time, not so long ago, you were my prime, I used to be your shadow. There was a time I would give it all for your heart to shine, so it may feel no sorrow. There was a time I changed who I am, became your partner in crime. You were the lion and I the lamb. There was a time you were the man I adored. Happiness was mine until you got bored. There was a time you owned my body, mind and soul, but then for a dame from your hands it was sold. Broken, my mind wanders, burnt, my heart cries. Still my love for you grow fonder, even after I broke all ties. For where love is, love will be, no matter if the mind don't see. And where truth is, truth will be, no matter if the lips have sealed. There was a time, now that time is gone, and with it my ties to you, with it our bond. Now is the time for a new love, so take my memories, set it free with a dove. Thank you.
What a lovely poem, emotive and impactful. Thank you so much, Mandy, for sharing your beautiful poetry. Now we need to take a short break. Don't go anywhere as we're back with a performance by Pelo.
Oh my god. You do.
Changed me. There we were, driving along one of Lesotho's endless lonely roads. If you could even call them roads. Just tracks in the sand, really? Here today, gone tomorrow, a bit like me? The bomb, it was meant for us, the enemy troops, but instead it claimed the lives of the innocent. Frivolous piece of shrapnel blighting society. Would it truly happy? I was charge, I'm still nothing. Every day I contemplate ending it all. Today is the day I finally think I will do it. The deafening sounds of explosions still echo around my skull. I served 3 years in Lesotho. They made it sound so exciting in recruitment, serving one's country. I always wanted to be a hero. Can you imagine what that does to a man? They never had to watch their best friend slowly gasping for his final breath in a roadside ditch. A family of 5 seeking refuge were its victims. How were they to know? They were dead before their car had even hit the ground. They didn't stand a chance. At least they didn't.
That was a rather dramatic and humorous reel of skits. Look forward to seeing it all come together. Thank you so much, Pehelo. We now look at our cutest performer, Abigail, who will recite a nursery rhyme called Girls Go to College, and she'll be followed by one of our international performers, Jorgen.
Girls?
Girls go to college to get more knowledge. Boys go to Jupiter to get more Jupiter. Moms go to Mars to get the bigger Mars. Dads go to Spain to get the bigger brain.
Nothing seems to work no more the way I had it in mind. I am not in sync with life, or maybe
Well, maybe I should go to Spain and get a bigger brain. There was an adorable little piece by Abigail, thank you so much, which was then followed up by Jorgen all the way from Sweden with Reflections on Love. Takja Jorgen, which I hope and I believe means thank you in Swedish. Now, moving on to our next. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, we've just got some breaking news coming in. We've just intercepted some military communications. Please hold.
Greetings, Captain Gamede. What is the latest news on the pilots?
The news is mixed, sir. I'm afraid to say that both pilots managed to eject themselves, but they were captured by the hostiles.
Do you have a location for them?
General Coetzee, they've been taken to a hilltop fortress not far from where they went down.
Let's get the team in there straight away and bring them boys home.
It is underway as we speak.
Excellent. I want our top operatives on it.
That could be a problem, sir.
What the hell do you mean by that?
Last year, there were complaints about discrimination in the special forces.
That's just ridiculous. They have members from all ethnic backgrounds and there's a female presence.
The complaints were made mostly by obese people, and few were made by people with disabilities.
Fat people complained about not being in the special forces. Is that some kind of a joke?
No, sir, I'm afraid it's deadly serious. The president has given his unconditional support. In fact, in a recent poll, it was found that 50% of our population is overweight. Our leader does not want to be seen to be discriminating against half of the population. So every branch of our defense forces is actively recruiting fat people.
You're telling me a bunch of Teletubbies are being sent to rescue our pilots?
We have to give them a chance now that we've recruited them.
Will they be able to handle the conditions?
Well, the officer says in the Swiss Alps, when climbers get into a difficult situation, there is a dog called the Saint Bernard that is dispatched to guide them home. He says his men are the human equivalents of that particular animal.
Slow, slobbering, overweight, that comparison does not fill me with confidence.
I agree, sir. The other units are calling them Amaguina.
Have you got a plan for these Amaguinas?
We don't have ropes strong enough for them to climb up the fortress. There is a road up the mountain, but the leader says it is too tiring to walk up. So he wants to be dropped at the actual fortress gate. This, of course, sir, eliminates the element of surprise.
I have a feeling our enemy will be very surprised when they see a load of fat people with guns getting out of a helicopter. They might think it's some kind of hidden camera show. They might laugh so much. Ha! In fact, these idiots might actually pull this off. Realistically though, Captain, they need to observe the enemy for a day or two before they go in.
I agree, General, but we don't have a chopper big enough for all of them. Never mind for the 2 days worth of rations. I mean, General, these people have serious appetites.
That does it. They are not going in. We will save them for more suitable terrorist holding people hostage in McDonald's or something. Get someone else for the job.
I will get the next unit on the list to do the job, but we'll have to get some close-up photos of the fortress before we give them the go-ahead.
What do you need to do that for?
To make sure the building is wheelchair accessible.
Oh, for heaven's sake, just send in the fat cooks.
Well, it seems the military has introduced a new branch of special forces, and reports also suggest that the new recruits are currently being housed at the Vetkoek Palace. Moving over to our next performer, Spesihle. Itisizwe ukuthi uSpesihle uthini ngenkondlo yakhe ibizwa Mntanam.
Mntanami, ngiphi indlebe ngikubekele, ngeqiniso elingaphelele. Uwe ngibanga ubaba ngokwanele, kepha enkulumeni zami nami ngizoyivikela. Kwaqala sinonina sobabili sithanda emahlathini nama-shipping queens, singamajuba hlezi sindiza ndawonye. Not knowing ukuthi unini ebusuku ugcwala ema-shipping ulwa namanye ama-queens babangamadoda. And every time I ask her what happened to her pretty face, uzongitshela ukuthi kubo bamshaya ngamabhodi just because ubone nami mina. Well, that made me understand ukuthi why bakumele sijolele emakhosombeni. Time went on and I had to prove a love for me. The only way to do that, kwawukuthi kwakumele sivune kwesesona isitho. Savuna, wahluma wena kwesakhe isibeletho. Wena ngaqamba ungekazalwa ngathi uthando lwethu, kepha wathi uzalo lwethu uthando lanyamalala. Namhlanje umile phambi kwami uzongitshela ukuthi ngikuphikile, ngakho ngithi ngiphi indlebe ngikubekele ngeqiniso elingaphelele. Ngibanga ubaba ngokwanele ngakho ey'nkulumeni zami nami ngizoyivikela. Mina angiphikanga njengoyise kepha umamezala wakuphika ngoba ezemi iy'ndleko ngangeke ngize ngiy'mele bakhethe ukukunika inkululeko. Thank you.
Siyabonga Spesihle, that was a really interesting poem indeed. We now take a look at Weststrand's rising star, a very talented young man who is currently working on an album and has shared some of his stuff with us. The following performance is called Freestyle by Slum Kid.
Okay, let's get it. Yeah, they probably should have let you know. Sick boss, they tryna treat me with antidotes. Michael Jackson, Billie Jeans are on dose. Moonwalking niggas tucking the long rope. Cake, cake. Just a slum key that everybody hates. Born in the Ville, now I'm heading to the States. Conversation with gods are speaking life and faith. Wait, the beat sound familiar. This the old Drake featuring Jake. So mean, I'm penetrating your space. This cheese boy is out here thinking it's a race. Man, I'm from the dust. Even the maid nigga wouldn't even dust me. Oh, I'm 5 niggas tryna sound like me. Y'all talk a lot, man, say something. Shade, shade. I could fire more, but y'all still fake. Jesus and name, man, y'all like faith. I'm killing the scenes, man, I ain't living traces.
Thank you, Slum Kid. It's clear now why you're the rising star of the West. Keep the flag flying high, my friend. And on to the next performances. We've got Mbali with I'm Not a Poet and Monwabisi with I'm Not From Here.
Hi everyone, my name is Mbali. I hope you're all doing well at home during this lockdown. I'm not a poet. Is that alright and speak with the synonyms of the strong definition that lies within the figures of speech? The tongue-twisting lines that goes with the rhythm of the words. So magnificent, wonderful, superb, fantastic, terrific, exhilarating, splendid and outstanding. I wanted to be a poet. I wanted to write about the pink elephant on a fairy tale. I also wanted to write about the pink elephant on a fairy tale. The sweet red romantic roses, violets which are blue, heart and lava with ooze later of love. I am not a poet. I'm not a poet. Because my pen is frustrated. Naked woman menstruating in a page living trails of shame and anguish. I'm like my pen. I have wound dripping blood below my waist. I'm born with a guilt. I'm guilty of one thing, being born with a vagina. I never smelled the sweet red romantic roses, but I know the odor of underwear when it's wet with blood, and we have no toiletry sanitation. He never gave me blue violets with a note attached, baby I love you, or I love you my queen. But he gave me blue eyes every weekend with his feast, with an attached speech. I shouldn't have done this if you didn't provoke me. You see, I'm not a poet. Poets are good at words. Their poetry is beautiful like them. They have makeup on their faces, but they haven't made up their minds. They say you exaggerate things, it's just that life gave you lemons and your heart is sour. Life never gave me lemons. It offered me a beautiful real pain on a silver platter, a dinner of thorns. I'm not a poet.
I'm not from here. The sins are facing the gun smoke in night at the town. They strip you naked in broad daylight because they notice I'm suing if you're not from here. Shipping queens with no kings, checkmate. Watch your moves if you want to visit your grave late. BMW convertibles parked outside rusted shacks, different loan shacks. Everybody's minding their own business. That is no surprise. Every weekend there is a funeral. Tears and blood bounce back in these gruesome streets. We're being buried by our own mothers and fathers. Yawupe kids killed and raped their own grandmothers. Teens swallow up their pregnancies. Abortion is a passion. Drugs and theft is a way of living. They spend more on alcohol than they do on groceries. Even 30-year-olds can rape in here. 20-year-olds with 3 kids from different fathers, they call them cryons. I wonder what future are they carrying as we keep on crying that we are dying, yet we keep on taking the pills that kills us.
Thank you. That was Monwabisi with I Am Not From Here. And that does indeed explain a lot, Monwabisi. And also, we appreciate the irony in Mbali's poem, I'm Not a Poet. The following performer is an inspiring singer with a talented voice, and we appreciate the little snippets you have sent to us and look forward to seeing you progress. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Isabel.
How you gonna act like that when I give you all I have? How you gonna act like that when I give you all I have? If I could go back to the day we met, I would probably do it all over again. And I would choose not to be your friend. When you ask me, I'll just say that I'm mad. It wouldn't be no this, it would be no staying at my house. It would be no watching movies in my car. You and left and I'm just trying to figure out. Said you always been my baby, but look now you gonna up and leave like that. When I give you all I have, I give you the real me. Told you all my feelings, and you gotta act like that. Please don't reveal before my eyes. And my bed and heart too scared to take it. As I behold your beauty and healthy, the only song my soul can finally sing. We started off as close friends, somebody turned into my boyfriend. It was something else but decided. But I should've never let you slide then. You were on my mind since everything was so cool. Should've never took it that I told you. Since we did it, you've been acting so new. I ain't gonna lie,
From Isabel, we move over to Cello with some of his freestyle.
For the world is the counterpart, son, check it. Radiation on the ground, population reduction, chemical injection, pandemic catastrophe, economic masturbation for the working class. Profits for big corporation, no promised land to harvest empty stomachs and broken dreams. Motor taught us the ancient science, left us with the science and solutions. Police, nurses, doctors and soldiers are now heroes while some are still dressed in uniforms of brutality, suffering from neo-colonial mentality. Only God can save his creation. Forgive the Asians and maybe save Americans and Europeans. Radiation on the ground, population reduction, chemical injection, pandemic catastrophe, economic masturbation for the working class, profits for big corporation. You better mask in, mask out. Pray for the sick and those terminally ill. Better keep the old and children safe from the corona. Population reduction, radiation on the ground, chemical injection, pandemic catastrophe, economic masturbation for the working class, profits for big corporations. Salute.
Thank you, Isabel and Kevin, for your performances. And next up, we have the ever creative Nontantla with her useful tips. After her, we've got the ad break, and immediately after the ad break, we've got another great poet in Jabulo Sibek.
Can I get your name, please?
My name?
Yes, ma'am.
Before, let's keep the distance. Safety.
Okay.
Okay. My name is Nontantla. Miss Makulu.
All right. So today is the 28th, right? Okay. First question. What is this? What is South Africa approaches concerning about this COVID-19?
The South African approach. We as people of South Africa, we're taking this matter very seriously. Hence, you can see that I have got my own daily kit that I am using to demonstrate the seriousness in this regard. I've got my stick, which is the distance stick that I'm keeping. Wherever I go, I keep the stick with me.
Right.
So I can keep distance. I've got my homemade mask, which I need to wash it. This is not the only mask I have. The other one is clean. And then I'm keeping this, changing it each and every day
Oh.
to keep everybody safe and myself as
So, protecting yourself from, you say that is your mask. You keep it for how many hours? How do you use it? Can you explain to liberate it for us?
I change it each and every day.
Mhm.
Hence, I'm not coughing, I'm not having any kinds of things. And I only put it when I go out to protect people around me and myself.
All right.
That is not the only thing that I am keeping myself, or we as South Africans keeping ourselves safe. This is the sanitizer. Can you see?
Yes.
It's getting finished because it's making use. My hand sanitizer each time I go out of the house. This is the body sanitizer. Washing each and every day, twice a day. It's important. This is the mouth sanitizer. Twice a day you are making use of. Underarm sanitizer, making use of each and every day. Twice a day. This is the surface sanitizer. Every surface, I'm making use of it. My hair sanitizer, twice a week. And the moisturizing. Head moisturizing and the body moisturizer. Any question?
I'd like to read an open letter from the author Simplewise, which is to the South African public at large. It is themed Together as South Africans We Can Defeat COVID-19 and date 29 April 2020. Without invitation, you visit our nation and gave our leaders in high positions instructions that will cause destruction to the economy of our nation. There is no location in our nation where you are not being mentioned because you have brought the economy of our nation to a greater recession. Depression, starvation, infraction, inhibition, and inhumation, etc., has become the categorization of our nation and not our constitution. However, our leaders in high positions are coming up with the innovations to put an end to your evil mission in our nation, because they have made a decision to see your end in our nation for your information. The whole population of our nation is in support of their vision and are paying more attention to their innovations rather than your destructions. In conclusion, I'd like to use this opportunity to inform the government of our great nation without any objection and hesitation. The total population of this great nation is in total support to her new decisions to revive the economy of our nation, a mission against the COVID-19. Presently, our great nation is in preparation to take serious actions from the 1st of May 2020. They'll be guided by the obligations of the government's new innovations to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Our target is level 1.
Excuse tog meneer, my horlosie se battery is pap. Kan jy dalk my sê hoe laat is dit?
10:10.
Is jy seker?
Ja, doodseker.
Dankie hoor. Hallo daar, mooi dag, né?
Oh,
so kan jy my nou sê hoe laat is dit?
Dis lastig. 6:15.
Hoe dan moer? Dis presies 6:15. Nou hoe weet jy wat jy tyd net om die donkies se ballas te vat?
Dis maklik. Daar aan die ander kant is ons dorp se klok en die tyd is op. Maklik is dit.
Country. Stuck in Wuhan while my family is in South Africa in Limpopo. As I ventured for a job opportunity, I come back into my country scared, not knowing that do I have this COVID? How long shall it be till I see my family? The anxiety of not seeing my loved one. Decisions. The duties of life. We have the decisions to be at peace, decisions to have hope, to decisions to become a better society, to bring a new normal. Thank you.
That was hashtag the modern shocker. Thank you so much for submitting your performance in Jabulo Sibeko. Now, unfortunately, we're almost at the end of our show, but before we call it curtains, we've got two more performers who'll be showing off their musical talents. First up will be Richard, and he'll be followed by Gareth Brent. Take it away, gents.
Here we stand now. The broken sound is outrageously loud. The voice of a civilization died out, switched their minds round, with cryptic signals of their own self-doubt. Wie's nou die Here, jy moet jou maar gaan self help. Al die demons wat jy face is ook net klein geld. In vergelijking met die monster wat aldag in jou siel delf, staar gerust na die spieël. Kyk terug na jou lyne. You're basically a fly-by-day ruthless pagan, and I'll find my way, even if I'm semi-faded. My mind is the only palace that can't be raided.
Thanks, gents, for those lacquer tunes. And that unfortunately brings us to the end of the Witpoortjie Performing Arts Show. It's been an honor to bring you some of Joburg's artistic talents. From me, Charlie Walters, the WPA crew, and all the members of the Witpoortjie Performing Arts youth movements, it's Totiens, goodbye, and Salani Gash.
All the tell stuff sad, so more shaggy. And like Jeff start, so more shaggy. Like it's really manura, so more shaggy. So more shaggy, so more shaggy. So more shaggy, so more shaggy. Tira de la monarchia, natira de la monarchia, natira de la monarchia, natira de la monarchia.